Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Monday Office Hours with Our Hometown. I am your host, Matt Larson, and I'm joined, as always, with our customer support team, Vera and Terry. Good afternoon, both of you.
Hey, good afternoon.
So today, I kind of wanted to just take this time to show both of you a couple things that we're working on in marketing and get your feedback on also this new security system that we have for limiting active login sessions. So we'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, I didn't really talk to you guys much about this before we just announced it. But this guy Kevin Slimp is pretty well known in the industry. He gives a lot of keynote speeches at conferences, and he agreed to do a session with just our hometown customers. It's pretty exciting, getting people to pick up your paper. So this is going to be happening. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm excited about that one. I have actually heard him speak before, not in person, but I've heard his. He's very good.
Yeah, he's got a lot of background. He works in printing now, so he's got a lot of experience with Adobe products also. So, I'm hoping that this will lead to more sessions, but I'm just trying to expand the reach of the virtual conferences with this. And so with this one, we're not going to be recording it because this is kind of like Kevin's, intellectual property, I guess you could say. So he may record it, but it's not going to be available after. So you got to come join us live on November 12th at 2 p.m. is when we're going to be doing it. So in the newsletter, you can click on that link and go to the blog post, which has background on what Kevin will be talking about, or you can just go straight to the webinar registration page. Okay, so that's one event that we've got coming up. Another one that we've got a couple weeks after that, December 1st. I'm going to be giving this for the Lion Publisher Group. It's the local independent online news publishers association, and we've actually got a couple customers that are members of this association. They're online only local publications, and so in this virtual conference, I'm going to be doing it sort of for them, but it's going to be open to the public as well, and obviously all our hometown customers. We're going to talk about innovations in local online news, like things that are happening specifically online that we've seen, the most exciting things that we've seen. I think I've got the top 5. I've got a list of 5 ideas that we're going to narrow it down to. So it's going to actually be pretty fast paced because it's a 50-minute webinar. So this one will be recorded like all the other ones, but if you're interested, just sign up here and we'll send you a link for the live session and then also recording after. Okay. Going to talk about audio articles there, reverse publishing, apps, a lot of stuff. Okay, and now this is one that I wanted to ask you about, Terry. Like in the past, when people ask about security, for their subscriptions, what's our answer to that? Because I know that we, with IP address, we can track that and do the metered paywall. That's one thing, but I don't think we really had like a good control over this necessarily until now. Is that fair, or did we have some solution?
No, that's absolutely right. This is that they come up with this. This is
right.
So
right. So basically, in the past, I mean, it's always hard to use the IP address route anyway, and that's how some publishers go. But then, people are moving around all day long. They're constantly hitting the limit. So, it becomes more of an annoyance for the really active users than it does a good deterrent for the, dishonest users. So with this, it basically allows you to create multiple active sessions. It's all about, what's that?
I think that where this is going to be of most benefit is for those comp subs, for advertisers, for government agencies where, you can't have 13 people that work in the office also using this at home.
Right.
They're going to be limited to a certain number of people,
Right. Now, this is really the most accurate way to limit access because What it's going to do is basically allow you to have up to a maximum number of logins. And so that's one of the options in the settings. When you go into the plugin settings, it's called logged in, is the name of the plugin. Maximum active logins, that can be any number. So 3 is probably a reasonable number. I mean, you could just do 1, really, but I think two or 3 makes sense, because then that allows multiple devices to stay logged in at the same time. But the cool thing about it is if someone tries to log in with the account somewhere else, then it will just automatically, you have the option to automatically log out of old sessions or to block the new login. I like that idea a lot. I think the allow option is the way to go. So then it's just like, as you, like, the most active devices are going to be the ones that you most recently logged into. So if you have a device that's still logged in, that's probably the one that you want to terminate to stay within the limit. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I think that's the way to go too. Get somebody new logged in. If somebody else is just hanging on there, just boot them out.
Right. Yep. And so that's a logical decision that you can choose one or the other on the whole site settings, but I think the default is allow. So yeah, this is going to be announced in tomorrow's newsletter. So there's a whole blog post on it. I think that we're going to have to enable it for now, Terry. So if we get requests for this, just keep an eye out. It's a plugin that you can turn on. Have we turned it on for anyone yet? Actually, do you know? I mean, I know we've been testing it, but
I don't think so.
oh, okay. All right. So yeah, we can go over. It's just in the plugins area. Okay. Now this is something that we haven't talked about in the blog, but I wanted to just point out here, and we'll make like maybe a nice overview video of what's possible with text size. So this is the new site, the Utah Insider, and Rachel got the text to look like this, which is roughly half the word density that we see on our default templates. This is the Storm Lake Times, okay? So if you count it up, I think this is, what did I count? Well, this new format is 70 characters across, roughly. So the text is larger, easier to read, and it's shorter lines. So that also makes it easier to read, because you're not, you're just, not going back and forth. Your eyes aren't moving as much. I think there's a lot of reasons to consider this kind of format. So this is just something I wanted to highlight, because we've got a whole spectrum here. This is 70 characters. This is from Signals, and they've got 105 characters roughly across here. So it's larger, but the column is wider compared to that, okay? And with this,
oh, nice.
It looks really nice, doesn't it? I mean, this looks exactly like the New York Times and the Washington Post. This is pretty much their settings. I think Rachel nailed it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the publisher wanted. So that's, about 70% less dense than here per line. And then this, guess how many characters on this line? The longest line possible.
I'd say 120, 125.
Yep, good guess. That's I counted 122 on the first line. So yeah, that's smaller font, much more packed per line. I just think the web, it's so easy to format it any way we like. So this is done, I believe, with just CSS, but it would have to be something coming that you make a request through ops for. Unless we could maybe send the code out to people that are comfortable putting in CSS. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to highlight that customer example. I thought that was cool. Let's see, any other things that, today it's just kind of an open office hours, so I was thinking, like, is there anything else that you guys saw this week? Any customer questions or requests that you think other people might benefit from hearing about? If it's okay if you don't have any today, but maybe like we can kind of do like a FAQ kind of section at the end of some of these. Like, showing this example of how we formatted the font differently.
I'm drawing a blank. What about you, Vera? What have you seen in tickets?
I did see stuff about MaxGalleria. Maybe do a refresher for that.
Okay.
a lot of people have questions about like the carousels, the sliders, the difference, I guess, of which is more beneficial, I guess. Is there a way to track, how many people view it? It's just those type of things.
Well, I think you could probably track it in Matimo, I would guess. I think that there would be a section for that. Let me see if I can quickly log in. I don't know if it's saved my password. But yeah, I would probably want to take some time to dig into Matimo separately. But in terms of like, let's see, this is actually on our hometown. It should be the same. With the carousels, are you talking about, isn't there an option for carousels somewhere on each page?
Yeah, it's in the template.
In the template, right, okay.
Carousels, yeah, you only have image tiles activated, but
So,
we can.
Okay. Is this
We can
something?
activate the slider or the carousel, yeah.
Cool. Let me look at a real site for a second here. So that's something that ops would have to do?
Yep. I think the reason that they're not automatically activated is, and I'd have to check on this, Matt, but I think the more things you have activated, the slower your site becomes.
Right. Okay. Got it.
It probably doesn't affect it much at all, but we just try to keep things at a minimum until they're requested.
So yeah, in this site, they've got a couple templates.
Right.
I wonder if they requested those, or because I was looking before at the Our Hometown website, which isn't like really a good example. But anyway, that's the answer to that. So, whoops, I don't want to save any of that. So, and then, yeah, with the stats, I think what we should probably do is have a separate training on Matimo, because there's a whole lot to that. Let's see. So, were there any other questions on, you think, MaxGalleria that we can go through?
Yeah, one thing would be setting your captions, because captions automatically show up. So that would be in options.
Great. Okay, so if you want, so where would you create the captions on the individual image here, but whether or not they're displayed in the gallery under options?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
You can choose your borders. There you go. Just scroll back up just a little bit in the captions area.
Oh, thumbnail.
Right. And so you would want to select, you'd want to check that, enable your captions, and then you can choose where you want the captions to display.
Very cool.
Underneath the image.
Right. That first one. Okay. So now anywhere that this is embedded, I don't know if we really put captions on this particular slideshow, but okay, cool. That's a good one to know. Anything else under options that people use a lot? Do they mess with these styles much?
Not really. The big question is captions. You know, it's that your captions aren't going to automatically show until you go into options and enable them.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. Thumbnail options.
Yeah, there's 2 customers that come to mind that I can think of that was recent that asked that. They put up the whole slideshow. They had the captions written out, but it wasn't displaying. So
right.
That's a good.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I kind of like this option to do the large X's too. Sometimes they're really small, and if it's like a light picture, the X gets lost. Okay. Anything else about MaxGalleria as it has come up? Any of the advanced settings you can think of? Or custom styles. I'm not sure.
It's just the stats and the captions and the different types, which ones people use more.
Yeah,
and,
the templates and captions usually are the most asked questions.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. Yeah, so I think that's probably good for today. On my end, anything else from you guys you want to go over?
Well, there's one. It just passed, so it's not going to be that much of a hard hitting topic right now, but the first part of October, everybody does their statement of ownership. So they want to know how many new online digital subscribers they have, and they don't understand the reporting. So that might be something small in a future office hours, maybe.
That would make a great little video tutorial.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know anything about that. I mean, could you possibly lead us in like a training on that, Vera?
Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. That's not a problem.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's talk about doing it in, I guess, in office hours. I mean, like you said, for this year, it's already passed, but is it a quarterly thing or it's just annual?
It's an annual thing, but because it's only one time a year, everybody forgets where to go.
Right. Okay, gotcha. No, that's a good one. Definitely. We'll add it to the schedule. Sounds good. Let me get that up here in a second. Okay, cool. Anything else for today? We'll keep it short for today. Don't really have any thing to demo yet. Maybe we'll demo, I don't know. It would be kind of tough to demo the logged in plugin to really show how it works, because I guess we could have all three of us try to log in and set the account at like 2 and try to simulate that. But we'll probably do that next week after we announce it in the newsletter. So, all right, cool. Well, we'll talk to you guys later then. I appreciate you jumping on.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep. All right. Talk to you later. Bye now.